Hello, chemistry students. You have made it to the last video lesson of the semester. Today, we are going to talk about molecular formulas. By the end of this video, you should be able to calculate a molecular formula from an empirical formula using molecular weight. So here is the book definition of a molecular formula. To find the molecular formula of a compound, first, divide the experimentally determined molar mass by the empirical formula mass. This gives you the number of empirical formula units in a molecule of the compound. The next step is to multiply the number of atoms of each element in the empirical formula by this number to find the molecular formula. And we're going to do one example today. Okay. A compound is composed of 64.0% carbon, 5.38% hydrogen, and 21.3% oxygen, and 9.33% nitrogen. It has a molar mass of 450 grams per mole. Determine the empirical and molecular formulas. Okay, so like last week, we are going to assume there is 100 grams of compound, meaning that we have 64.0 grams of carbon, 5.38 grams of hydrogen, 21.3 grams of oxygen, and 9.33 grams of nitrogen. Okay, so it looks like carbon and hydrogen are in a 1-to-1 ratio, so we just need to figure out the ratio of oxygen molecules in our compound and nitrogen molecules. In this situation, we will divide everything by the smallest mole number, which is nitrogen. So 5.33 divided by 0.667. So this one will also be equal to 7.99. And then 1.33 divided by 0.667 equals 1.99. And then 6.667 divided by 0.667, that equals 1.0. So this gives us our empirical formula. We have 8, 8, 2, and 1. So I'm going to write that up at the top. Okay, so that's the first part of our question. It asks for the empirical formula. Now we're going to get our practice at determining the molecular formula. So in order to do that, we're going to need more space. This question tells us that the molar mass of the compound is 450 grams per mole. So we need to figure out the molar mass of the empirical formula. Carbon has an atomic mass of 12.0. Hydrogen oxygen, and nitrogen. We'll multiply the carbon atomic mass by 8, hydrogen by 8, oxygen by 2, and nitrogen by 1. So the empirical formula has a molecular mass of 150.8 grams per mole. To find the molecular formula, we will divide 450 by 150, which is equal to the whole number 3. This tells me that the empirical formula represents a third of the molecular formula. So we need to multiply all of the atoms in the empirical formula by 3.